Welcome to Rooted Realities, where honest talk meets soulful insight. This podcast will guide you through life's ups and downs, offering clarity, courage, and a gentle reminder to give yourself grace. I'm your host, Christmas Miller, holistic health practitioner, life coach, and spiritual mentor. With each episode, I'll blend ancient wisdom with modern insight to inspire you to stay accountable and empowered. So if you're ready to grow from the inside out, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Christmas here, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm talking about the evolving face of scarcity consciousness. And if you're not sure what that means, here's the breakdown. It's that subtle tension of scarcity that follows you, even when your life looks good on paper, and also when you can see that it's not. It's that quiet voice and deep feeling that insists there isn't enough. Not enough time or money, even when you have it. Not enough rest, not enough love, and these days, certainly not enough opportunity. But scarcity consciousness isn't just about what's missing outside of us. It's about what we've been conditioned to believe is missing within. It's like a weed in our mental and emotional garden that keeps the same thought patterns alive. And many of us live with it every day without even realizing it, while that low frequency of not enough keeps running in the background. Now, it shows up in how we move through life with the constant worrying and stress, the way we rush, compare, or worse, hold our breath waiting for the other shoe to drop. It impacts our plans and how we execute them. And let me tell you, it's not a good feeling, and it can rob you of your potential, big time. But here's the thing. Scarcity isn't just about having less. It's about living in that constant state of fear that what you have isn't secure. It's an old survival program rooted deep in our nervous system. And the truth is, we never really left it. Depending on where you live in the world, danger has always been real and immediate. But now, that same survival wiring is being activated globally. Old threats are resurfacing, and new ones have entered the picture. The nervous system doesn't know the difference. Time, money, attention, validation, they all register as survival cues now. We've just upgraded the language of lack. So instead of predators, we live under pressure. And yes, famine still exists in parts of the world. But even where food is available, stability isn't guaranteed. Clean food, safe housing, reliable care, well, these have become modern survival concerns. So scarcity didn't disappear. It adapted. It evolved with us. What once threatened the body now also threatens the nervous system. Scarcity moved from physical survival into emotional and energetic survival. And this is where it gets tricky. We call it being responsible. We overwork, overthink, and overgive, all in the name of control. But underneath it all, it's fear wearing a mask that looks like logic. Now, ancient cultures, they understood this very differently. In Egypt, abundance wasn't measured by accumulation. They lived by Ma'at. Truth, balance, harmony, right order. Every decision, every action was weighed against that balance. And Heka, the creative force, wasn't wishful thinking. It was the living power of intention, word, and action working together. So when truth and creative energy were aligned, life flowed. But when fear or greed disrupted that balance, everything fell out of order. And that pattern didn't disappear. It just changed form. And we're still living it today. Our modern version of imbalance just looks like burnout, anxiety, and disconnection. Maybe the real poverty isn't in what we don't have, but in how disconnected we've become from our own creative power. So, what does all of this actually look like in real life? Well, for one, scarcity is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a whisper in the background, like through guilt when you rest, or that little anxiety that says you should be doing more, or when you feel the need to have to keep on proving your worth after you've already done so much. And it shows up when we say, I'll relax after this project, or I can slow down, but I just can't do it right now. And then it keeps moving the goalpost. Yeah, because that's what scarcity does. Oh, I'll do it after I get ahead, or after things settle down. Or, here's my personal favorite, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, people say that, and they mean it. Scarcity is sneaky like that. It hides inside what looks like ambition, caution, or responsibility. But underneath it is the same old fear that's been around since the beginning of time. The fear of losing ground, the fear of missing out or being forgotten. That's the part we rarely see, where fear has become normalized. That just goes right over our heads because we've been trained to confuse exhaustion with dedication and control with safety. Yet, every time we pause long enough to notice it, we loosen its grip. I want you to take a breath right here. I want you to ask yourself, where does scarcity live in you? Is it in your body? And that might feel like tight shoulders, shallow breathing, or a clenched jaw. Or is it in your choices? And that might look like always overcommitting, always overgiving, or delaying your own rest. Just stop and just notice, pay attention, because awareness is the first crack in the pattern. The ancients didn't just talk about balance, they practiced it. In Egypt, Ma'at wasn't a concept, she was a way of life. Every decision, every word was measured against truth, harmony, and justice. Living out of alignment meant throwing the whole system off balance, not just for one person, but the community. And Heka, the power of creation, reminded them that words and focus were living forces. They didn't manifest by wishing. They manifested by aligning. They spoke what they wanted to exist, then acted in ways that matched it. That's what dealing with scarcity really looks like. Not hustling harder, but restoring harmony between what you think, what you speak, and what you do. That's how balance returns. The truth is, the world isn't short on opportunity or possibility. It's short on people who trust themselves enough to create from balance instead of fear. Scarcity consciousness taught us to protect what's left, but real abundance invites us to participate in creation. Now that's where Heka and Ma'at meet. Power with integrity, truth with creation. So maybe healing scarcity isn't about gaining more. It's about remembering the order of things. When you realign your energy, your words, and your actions, you stop feeding fear and start creating from truth. That's what the ancients meant by power and balance. And it's what we're being asked to remember now, today. You don't have to control everything to feel safe. You just have to stop feeding what drains your energy. I want you to choose one small thing today, just one small thing you can do from a place of trust instead of fear. When you do that, that's how the shift begins. You move from surviving to creating. And that's where balance lives, right in the space between truth and creation. Thank you for listening to Rooted Realities. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review. It really helps others find the show. Your support is greatly appreciated. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook for more updates and new content. Until next time, stay rooted and keep growing.